Ready to bust another myth? I'm Michele Thill with Newland Wellness, and this is for women who are on their own for the first time and over 50. And today's myth is that as you get to this point in life, 50s on, that your health and vitality just starts to climb. And I want to bust that myth right now because now is the time where you actually have more control over your health and well being now more than ever. So think about this. The only thing we have control over, as I've been discussing, is ourselves and how we handle things. And this is a point in your life now where you have the ability to focus more on yourself. The X is out of the way, if you will. Your kids are grown. And now is the time where you can focus on you and take care of you. And isn't that about time? So, on this journey, instead of falling apart, you can come together even more. You can be stronger and more energized. And I'd like to give you a few tips on how that's possible. First off, as a board certified health and wellness coach with a specialty in functional medicine health coaching, functional medicine is different from conventional medicine. Conventional medicine is what most of us are used to, that Western medicine, where you go to the doctor, you get a medication, and life goes on. And with functional medicine, if you're having an issue, it looks at the root cause and looks at holistic ways to help you and support you so that you're not just band-aiding something, but can actually heal something. So, take an example: high blood pressure. You may go to your Western medicine doctor and get a prescription for a high blood pressure medication. But in the functional medicine world, it would look at, why is your blood pressure high? What are you eating? How are you handling stress? How are you sleeping? Do you need to lose some weight? What can you do to help yourself? And this is so important because we have more control and power over our health than we're led to believe. And it may seem like more work to do that as opposed to taking a pill. Oh, but my gosh, you benefit in so many ways. So, in general, it's about us eating more whole, real foods, organic whenever possible, and any animal protein that is organic as well or grass fed. Because not only are we what we eat, you know that old saying that we grew up with, you are what you eat, but you are what your food eats what your food eats. And so I want you to think about that on this journey. What is the food you're eating, whether it's plant based or animal based, being fed to grow and nourish themselves? So pay attention to um, eating more cleaner, healthier choices, getting in enough water. We don't drink nearly enough water. And sometimes we focus more on water in the summertime. And with that being said, because we're hot, right? And we need that hydration. But in the wintertime, it's so cold, it's so drying, and we need that water. And drinking tea and coffee isn't enough because even though those are made with water, it's actually dehydrating. So you want to make sure that you're um, drinking and hydrating with real water and not just bubbly water. not something that's in a can, and really even not something that's in a bottle, uh, because so many of the plastic water bottles have that BPA in there that leaches into the water. So I use filtered water, and I fill glass bottles and bring those with me to work. Um, it's making sure that you are eating more plants than the animal protein. Getting in, I think it was Mark Hyman that called meat like a condom meat. When I grew up, we would have, like, a little bit of potatoes, a little bit of vegetable, and then a big piece of meat. And now just the opposite. Can you get way more vegetables and a little bit of whatever that animal protein is in your on your plate? Because the more you eat plants, the better you actually feel. All the phytonutrients that are in the plants help you and your body function at a much higher level. Getting in movement. So many times we feel like we're sitting too much. Even the younger generation is sitting too much. And getting up and moving every hour, standing more than you're sitting. I sit a lot at my day job, so I stand at lunchtime, just so that I am not just constantly sitting. I get up and I move around. If I need to speak to somebody, instead of calling their extension, I'll get up and walk over to them, just to keep myself moving. And it's important for all of us to be doing that. When it's nice out, I'll go walk at lunchtime and get my body moving. I have to say, at this time in my life, I am feeling so much younger than I did. Like, I feel like I'm forever 25. And when I was 25, I actually felt a lot older and a lot more tired. I was a young mother at that time. I wasn't sleeping much. I had a newborn baby. And now I feel like I have so much more vitality going for me. We have a chance now to fill our lives with things that fulfill us and bring us to life. We can even fill our fridge and our pantries with healthier choices, because no longer do you have to worry that a family member is bringing in temptation. I went through a lot of temptation living with my ex and my kids, where it was like there was the ice cream, there were the bag of chips, there was the cookies, there was the other things. And now I don't bring any of that into the house. So in those weak moments, which for me are usually later at night when I'm tired. Can you relate? Does that resonate with you? I don't have those things to fall to throw me off track. And not having all that sugar or processed foods actually helps your body function much better. Sugar causes inflammation, and processed foods are filled with sugar, they're filled with chemicals, they're filled with salt, and they're filled with things that ultimately inflame us. And then we don't feel that well. We ache more. We have brain fog. We don't sleep as well. We're just forgetful, and we just are feeling old. And I'm telling you, when you start to eliminate those foods from your daily life, you start feeling better. And then on an occasion, you might have one of those processed, or the cookie or the cake or ice cream, whatever. But it's what you do on a consistent basis that makes a difference. And when I have something that I normally wouldn't, say a cookie, I don't think of it as a treat or a cheat. I just think of it as something I'm doing. I take the emotion out of having it, the blame or the shame or the like gratification of it. And I just have it as is. And again, consistently, I'm eating plant based, healthy foods, and on occasion, I'll have something different. Same with drinking. There was a time where I'd have that glass of wine every night, and now I save that for maybe a time out or a special occasion. I find that I don't miss drinking because I sleep better. I started connecting that in drinking red wine, which would be my favorite choice of alcohol, I would wake up in the middle of the night, uh, kind of hot flashing. And how many of us are having hot flashes at night? And you think, well, that's just part of this stage in life. I used to be a leader for Weight Watchers, and I once had a meeting where a woman was sharing she'd have red wine every night, and she was always having hot flashes. And I suggested her skipping the wine for a week and see what happens. And she did, and she's like, my gosh, I'm not getting the hot flashes. And when she went back to the wine, the hot flashes were back. So pay attention to what you're drinking, what you're eating, how you're feeling. And that tells you what your body is tolerating, what it's struggling with, and how much of this and what you're experiencing in your life is really something you can control, that you can change and take care of by making adjustments, and take it small. In the month of January, where people are doing New Year's resolutions, it's like that all or nothing, and then you can't wait for the month to be over so that you can then go back to life as it was, right? And instead, what if you take baby steps and make small adjustments to your daily routines and habits? Take small actions and gradually let it build. Maybe you spend a few days or a week just focusing on getting more water in. And then maybe the next time you go to the grocery store, you start including some organic produce. And then you start looking more at the organic meats. In a time where we may be budget conscious, I find that the organic isn't necessarily all that more expensive. And in the long run, you either pay for it at the register or you pay for it later on in your body. So think about some of this stuff and how you have more control than you realize. And you can feel great really at any age if you choose. And it's also having the mindset, the openness to embrace all of this, to say, like on days where maybe I'm feeling a little achy because I've been walking a lot, instead of letting that bother me and start saying, oh gosh, all these aches and pains, I just get on the yoga mat and do some stretches, and it feels great. And it's so good for our bodies at any age to be stretching and flexible. So start changing the way you're looking at things and how you're thinking about things. You've got this, and I'm here for you. You have more power over your health than you realize. I want to leave you with one last thought, And that's the thought of epigenetics, which has become more commonplace now. And epigenetics is talking about how our genes are not our destiny. Our genes can be uh, upregulated or downregulated depending on what we're doing. Um, if you're eating healthier and you maybe have a family history of diabetes or high blood pressure or cancer, but you're eating healthier now in the ways I've talked about with the organic and cleaner, you're learning how to manage your stress through meditation, through breathing, through other techniques. You are getting in that sleep so your body can repair itself. You are getting in that movement and activity so that your body is more fluid instead of stagnant. You have that ability to control your destiny. That your genes may be a gun, um, and your environment pulls the trigger. And so, if you're not doing what everybody in your family is doing, that might have produced something, that you have that ability to have a cleaner, healthier life. It's such a fascinating area that I just want to plant some seeds in this short amount of time. Open your mind to the thoughts, possibilities, and potentials. And if you like what you're hearing, if I resonate with you, or if you know someone that would benefit from what I have to offer, please like, please share, please subscribe, and please join me. I will be with you again as we continue on this journey. Until next time, be well.